Namaskar children. Today civics second chapter secularism. So today in this picture the conversation between the teachers and the students. In a government school in Simapur, students want to celebrate a religious festival. So the students are asking the teacher, they want to celebrate a religious festival next month. So they are asking the permission of the teacher that they want to celebrate that festival that year. But teacher was afraid and said to the students, one of the student name was Rekha. And the teacher told to Rekha, this is a government school. We cannot celebrate any festival because we cannot give importance to any one religion. So private schools may do that because government schools don't celebrate any religious festivals in the school premises, because mostly religious festivals are public holidays, so that we can celebrate these at home. Then again the two students are conversating. One boy is saying that I never thought of it this way. I guess we can always celebrate it outside school. So he is saying that we can celebrate the festival outside the school. So I cannot expect this type of answer. Then the girl is saying that okay, we can celebrate our festival in our locality. So by this story, what we have understood, Indian secularism is saying that we cannot give importance to any one religion, so that we cannot celebrate any religious festivals in the government high schools. But private schools, they can do as per their wish. For example, if you take Christian missionary schools, they will give a lot of importance to their religion and to their festivals. You know that they will get Christmas holidays, nearly 15 days to 10 days. They will give holidays for that, and Hindu festivals they will give only 2 to 3 days, not like our Dasara holidays and Pongal holidays. Why? Because Christian missionary schools, they will give importance to their festivals and to their religion. And some schools like Seventh Day Adventist schools also, they can made ICSE syllabus in Christian missionary schools. Bible will be teach as one of the subject. So the student have to read the Bible as a compulsory subject in those schools. Why? Because in Indian constitution, the private schools, they are having right to promote, to follow their religion and to develop their language and culture also. And this is another example. That is one example. This is another example. Here, what is the example here? A group of friends who are recently bought scooters are meeting to go for a ride together. So these are the two friends. They bought the scooter recently, so they want to go for a ride together. So okay, one person is asking that, hey, you have helmet. You know there is a law in Delhi that everyone must wear the helmet. Why aren't you wearing a helmet? Do you want to be fined? Means helmet is a compulsory. Now also government made helmet is a compulsory, otherwise you will be fined. Even in Gunpur also, as you observe that our GIT University also made it compulsory without helmet. The two-wheelers are not allowed inside the campus of our university campus. So it is compulsory. So like that, the friends are discussing one another. As we are going for ride, you should wear the helmet compulsory. Otherwise you will be fined. Then another person is saying that, don't worry, I will not be fined. Then he is asking that, hey, Paramjit, why won't you be fined? Why you are special? Why you won't be fined? Because I am a Sikh. I am wearing pagri. It is a very important part of our religion. So the government cannot force me to wear a helmet. Means only Sikh community in India, they cannot wear the helmet. Why? Because they are having the pagri. It is compulsory for every Sikhs, they have to wear it. So because of pagri, it give protection for them, so that they cannot wear the helmet. They are only exceptional, only the Sikh community, because being a Sikh, they don't want to wear the helmet. So this is another example of secularism. And let us see the review of the both two examples of 1 and 2. First of all, the celebration of the religious festival within the school would have been a violation of the government's policy of treating all religions equally. Government schools cannot promote any one religion either in their morning prayers or through religious celebrations. This rule does not apply to private schools. So first example, what we should understand, government policy is that they are treating all religions equally. Because in government schools, they cannot promote any one religion, either in the morning prayer or in the religious celebrations. But this is not applicable to the private schools. So private schools, they can do as per their wish. And next example, Paramjit is the Sikh youth because he does not have to wear a helmet. Why? Because Indian state recognizes that wearing a pagri, that is called as turban, it is central to a Sikh religious practice, and in order to not to interfere with this, allow an exception in the law. So that means what secularism means, it is giving importance to the individuals. We should make the individual or the private organizations to promote the religion. That means what? Freedom. Actually, right to freedom of religion is one of the fundamental right, as the fourth right given in the fundamental rights by the constitution. So that means government cannot force anybody, cannot force the Sikh community people to wear the helmet. And next, in what way is Indian secularism different from that of other democratic countries? Actually, secularism is not only in our country, some other countries also following the secularism. Let us see the United States of American Constitution. They also prohibits the legislature from making laws respecting an establishment of religion. Means the American Constitution also prohibit the free exercise of religion. And what is meant by the word of establishment here? The legislature cannot declare any religion as the official religion. Here legislature means it is like a parliament. So parliament cannot declare any religion as the official religions, or they cannot give preference to one religion. So in America, the separation between the state and religion means that neither the state nor the religion can interfere in the affairs of one another. This is the significant way in which Indian secularism differs from the dominant understanding of secularism as practiced in the United States of America. Because in American secularism, the strict separation between the unlike the strict separation between the religion and the state in American secularism, whereas the Indian secularism, the state can intervene in religious affairs. How Indian secularism can intervene? Intervene means here influence. Influence according to the guiding values of the Indian Constitution. So Indian Constitution intervened in induced religious practices. Why Indian Constitution intervened influence? Because in Hinduism there is untouchability. What is untouchability here? High caste and lower caste. So high caste people dominate the lower caste people and they make the people untouchables. So that abolition of untouchability, so Indian Constitution was intervened in Hindu religious practices. And in Indian secularism, though the state is not strictly separate from religion, it does maintain a principled distance, vice versa religion. This means that any interference in religion by the state has to be based on the ideals laid out in the Constitution. So Indian Constitution, ideals means what? Principles. What are the principles are laid in the Constitution? According to that principles, according to the religion, if it hurts the individual, then if it harms the society, then the Indian Constitution can intervene in the Hindu religious practices. These ideals serve as a standard through which we can judge whether the state is or is not behaving according to secular principles. So why the constitution have to intervene like this? Because the what are the ideals are given in the constitution, that is following by the state, or they are behaving according to the secular principles or not. And let us see some points in the Indian constitution. The Indian constitution bans untouchability. Untouchability means it is a social practice. What is a social practice here? The state is intervening in the religion in order to end a social practice that it believes discriminates and excludes and that violates the fundamental rights of lower castes who are the citizens of this country. So these people come under the untouchability. So that untouchability, the discrimination, the exclusion, the violation of the lower caste people are banned. So that is according to Article 14 Indian Constitution, untouchability is a crime. And similarly, to ensure that laws relating to equal inheritance rights are respected, the state may have to intervene in the religion-based personal laws of communities. So each and everybody, individual should get respect. So that is why each and every community people, whatever caste and religion, they should get equal respect. And next, the Indian Constitution also gave some rights to religious communities in the form of grants. Grants means money. Grants in aid means money, means monetary support they will give to set up own schools and colleges. And the government also gives them financial aid on a non-preferential basis. Financial aid means financial support. They will give to the private organization to develop their religion. And now what are the some other things in the Indian Constitution? Okay. That means what? The Indian Constitution also bans the untouchability, and they also make the people to follow the religion as per their wish. And what are the ways in curbing of discriminatory practices? What are the things we have to take to make the secularism in a proper way? First of all, they should use a strategy of distancing itself from religion. What is this distancing from the religion? Because the Indian state is not ruled by a religious group and nor it support any one religion. So that is why in Indian government spaces like law courts, police stations, government schools and offices are not supposed to display or promote any one religion. Means if you see any government offices like law courts, police stations, government schools and government organizations, they should not display or any suppose giving importance to any one religion. That is first thing. And second way, in order to respect the sentiments of all religions and not interfere with religious practices, means the state makes certain exceptions for particular religious communities. So for particular religious communities, they are exceptional. They need not follow. For example, Sikh community, no need to wear the helmet, like that. And some organizations, they can give some importance. Suppose in Hinduism, the people can do the bhajans and they can do the prayers, and they can, suppose Christians, they can contest the meetings to promote their religion. And if you see the Muslims, they can do the prayers during Friday in the mosque. A lot of gathering you can observe, because this is the freedom given by the Indian Constitution to the people living in India. And third way is what? Untouchability. This is a good example where the members of the same religion, upper caste Hindus dominate other members, some lower castes within it. In order to prevent this religion-based exclusion and discrimination of lower castes, the Indian Constitution bans untouchability. And what is the last one? The Indian Constitution grants the right of religious communities to set up their own schools and colleges. It also gives them financial aid on a non-preferential basis. They should not give preference. Without preference, they can give financial aid to the people. There is one best example you can see in Khajuraho temple. It was built in 19th century. This Khajuraho temple in India is very famous. Here we can see Hindu spire. Hindu spire means it is called Shikhara. A Jain Kopla means round top of a building is called Kopla. Buddhist stupa and Muslim style dome. This in the place of the usual Shikhara. So this is the construction, means 4 religious or unitedly constructed a temple, very famous, that is called as Khajuraho temple. Khajuraho temple. And next, another example, an event in France. What is an event happened in France actually? In February 2004, France passed a law that they banned the students from wearing any conspicuous religious or political signs or symbols such as the Islamic headscarf, the Jewish skull cap, or large Christian crosses. Means they passed a very strict law in France that students should not wear such type of things which resembles their religion. So then what happens? This law was encountered a lot of resistance from immigrants who are mainly from the former French colonies of Algeria, Tunisia and Morocco. Immigrants means already the people who are migrated from their countries to France. So the students were revolted against the government. So in the 1960s, what happened? France had faced a shortage of workers, and therefore, because the people are not willing to come to France to work. So why? Because a strict law was passed by the France that students are not allowed to wear the headscarf and skull cap or Christian crosses. But already so many people are migrated from Algeria, Tunisia and Morocco. So those people was faced a problem. So they stopped of coming to France. So 1960s, what happened? Shortage of workers got in the France, and nobody is not coming from those countries to work in the France. And then what happens? 1960 onwards, the France has provided visas for these immigrants to come up and work in the country. So the daughters of these immigrants, they come and work in the country. Why? Because they have given some relaxation in the law that they can wear headscarves while attending the school. So why? With the passing of the new law, they have been expelled from their school for wearing head scarves, because as people are not willing to come, then France was changed the law. They gave importance to the secularism. And coming to the conclusion of this chapter, what are the ways to promote the secularism? How we can promote the secularism? Means we should teach history of our country. First of all, in the school level, we should teach what is the past of the country, about the history of our country. It should be taught by the teacher to the students. And we should inculcate humanity, sympathy in the students. We should inculcate some good habits to the people. Means the students in the school, that is called humanity. Humanity means what? Good behavior. Sympathetic means we should be kind. That habits we should inculcate into the mind of the students. And what is another way? Teacher should not show any sort of partiality inside the classroom. Means for the teacher, all people are equal. So you should not show the partiality inside the classroom. It should give importance to all the people. And teacher should be extremely secular inside the classroom. Extremely secular means teacher must give importance to all the religious students in the classroom. No discrimination. Next, teaching basic principles of all religions. Religions are having some basic principles. So every religion, what are the principles are there? All the principles should be a part of teaching by the teacher. And next, observation of different religious festivals. Every festival we should give importance, and every festival should be celebrated in the schools at equal manner, and every festival will give one message. So that should be made by the teachers in the school to the students. Like this, we can promote the secularism. Thank you.